Hello, and welcome once again to the Dental Marketing Mastery Series. This podcast is brought to you by dentalwebcontent.com and New Patients Incorporated. I'm Howie Horrocks, the founder of New Patients Incorporated. Along with me once again is my friend and partner and the president of New Patients Incorporated, Mark Dilatush.
Hello, everybody. Welcome again to our podcast. We're good to be back with you, aren't we, Mark?
Been a couple weeks.
Yeah. What were we doing?
Well, you were visiting with your son and your new daughter-in-law.
Yeah, well, that's true.
I was busy working and slaving so that you could visit with your son and your daughter-in-law, I think.
And I really appreciate that.
I know. I know you do. You do the same for me.
You're paying me back for when you go off on your bass fishing.
That's right. That's right.
All right. Well, today we'd like to talk about something. We're going to call it revenue plateaus. Okay, that should be kind of...
the evil, ugly revenue plateaus.
Yeah, and causes of and solutions for.
Well, yeah, that'll be like an 8-hour podcast. And
okay, maybe we'll just...
yeah, let's identify them first. If people chime in and say, hey, that happened to me, can you expand on it? Then, we will. And people who listen to this, and there's more, and it's amazing the thousands of downloads we get. Thank you for listening.
Yeah.
There's a dental marketing mastery Facebook group that we monitor, and that's where these conversations mostly happen. Somebody will listen to these podcasts and chime in with a question, or they'll do it via email, and then I'll put the question or the situation up on the Facebook forum. Anyway, okay, yeah. So revenue plateaus, identification. Normally it's this time of year, maybe a little later than now. You'll probably have a meeting with your CPA, and your CPA will say, did good this year, or about the same as last year, or
you suck.
Well, that's right, you suck. Things are going backward. One of those three things is going to happen. And if you have a good CPA, they're going to help you legally avoid as many taxes as possible. So after that conversation, if the result is, hey, my revenues have plateaued, or hey, my revenues are going down, what we want to do with this podcast is introduce to you some of the perhaps not so easily identifiable reasons why you're getting that result. Okay, now if you took a month off and you went to France, then obviously we know why your revenues plateaued. So outside of the obvious, we're going to identify some of the not so obvious causes. And when I say not so obvious, I don't mean uncommon, because these are very, very, very common revenue plateau points and reasons for revenue plateaus. So
yeah, sometimes the connection isn't made between the plateau and the cause, and then it's not necessarily obvious, but it is common.
Right, and one of the ones that is prevalent today in 2018 in dental practices, and I can just tell everyone listening to this that it's happening probably in 80% of our client practices, is you're at or over capacity. Now, we've been railing about this subject. We've probably done, 4 podcasts in the last 3 months or 4 months on being over capacity, how to identify it. So let's just go through some of those real quickly so I can get to the other reasons your revenues might be plateauing. If a new patient can't choose an early morning or either the first or last appointment on a weekday within the next 8 work days, that's the rule.
The rule of 8.
That's right. First or last appointment of a weekday within the next 8 days, you are at or over capacity. You may think you're happy. You may be pumping your chest out in pride, and everyone might be joyous in your office, especially your front desk, because they don't have to spend their day filling your schedule because it's so full and it makes them look like they did their job. But you're hurting your practice. One of the fastest ways that you can plateau the revenues of your dental practice is to be over capacity. Okay, so that's
nowhere for the new people to come in.
Yeah,
no, that's bad.
That's a bad thing, right? Okay, and your marketing company is going to. Well, we are. I don't know about everybody else, but we are going to be the first ones to shout it out.
Yeah.
Another one, which is really missed. It's missed by CPAs. It's missed by most dentists. Is the difference in patient quality.
Oh yeah.
You could be under capacity. You could be a solo dentist getting 40 new patients a month. Your CPA looks at that and compares it to last year and goes, "Oh, patients are coming in. It's not like you need more new patients." And they would be right. You don't need more of them. You just need better ones.
Right.
Okay.
What are those new ones worth? How much do they spend in the practice overall? That's revenue per patient is a very, very important statistic to keep track of.
It is. It's more important than volume.
Yeah.
It's the holy grail. Okay. If your first year average revenue per patient is $1,200, you want to make it 13. If it's 13, you want to make it 14. If it's 14, you want to make it 15. Okay. Yeah. Stop asking yourself how you can get more new patients as the only determination of how your marketing's going. Because the smart dentists are out there going, "I'm going to get from 14 to 15. And I honestly don't need 22 new patients a month. I really only need 18.
Yeah, we get that all the time.
Constant.
What the hell am I supposed to do with 40, 50 new patients? Where am I going to put them?
Yeah, so. And the dentist will call us and they'll say, "My marketing's not working. I'm getting 40 new patients a month and I need more." It happens all the time. Happens constantly.
Yeah.
And we always say to, sing a solo practice, we say, "Doc, your marketing's working. It's working its butt off. It's doing exactly what you asked it to do. You asked for all the shoppers in your market to respond to you, and they did. They called your office or they made their appointment online, and they came in.
They came in for your free whitening, and there you go.
For free X, and
you offered it.
And now your staff is chasing them around the office, trying to get them to accept treatment. And in 6 months, they're going to chase them around, try to get them in for their recare so they can come in and not get their treatment done again." Yeah. Okay. And that just creates a vicious circle to where, pretty soon you're like, "Yeah, I'm in my marketing. I need more. We call them new patient junkies.
Yeah.
You can picture a dentist in the corner with the shakes. You know exactly what's in our mind right now. Okay. Well, that's a huge problem, in many dental offices. And it exacerbates itself as much in the same way if you combine that with pre-appointing hygiene and pre-appointing everyone for their next hygiene appointment. Oh my God, you can see that the snowball just accelerates.
That's kind of a double whammy.
It's a big double whammy. Okay, so that'll stagnate your revenues to a screeching halt.
Okay, yeah. This might be a good time for us to take a little break, and then we'll come back and we'll get into a few more of these revenue plateau issues. Okay, so don't go away. We'll be right back.
Hello, friends. Howie Horrocks here, talking about getting good online reviews for your dental practice. Think of reviews as the new word-of-mouth advertising. Studies show that 75% of the people looking to buy anything online check the reviews before making their decision. If you don't have reviews or you don't have enough good reviews, you aren't going to get chosen. The key to getting good reviews is simplicity. It has to be easy, simple, and quick for the patient, or they just won't do it. NPI's Crusader makes it easy for the patient and easy for the staff. In fact, the doctor and staff don't need to be involved at all. The Crusader software sends the patient an email or text shortly after they leave your office. No one in the practice has to ask the patient anything. The patient clicks to leave the review and it's done. Crusader does all the work for you automatically. Go to newpatientsinc.com and request a demonstration. It normally takes about 10 to 15 minutes. Oh, and unlike some review software products, Crusader will not hold your reviews hostage in some ridiculous attempt to keep you as a customer. Crusader reviews go directly to Google, Yelp, Facebook, and your own website, and they are yours forever. Check it out at newpatientsinc.com.
All right. Welcome back. Here we are. We're talking about plateauing revenues and the causes of and the solutions for.
We once again paused to play an advertisement about ourselves.
Yeah.
What a great country we live in.
I love it.
I know. All right. So the next one is probably get a little personal, a little personal with some of the dentists out there. Probably start a fight between you and the person who schedules most of your appointments at your front desk. Because normally when I say that your schedule is not really optimized, you could normally find 20, 30% daily revenue improvement just in the way the staff schedules the dentist, or the way the dentist allows the staff to schedule them. That's where the fight always happens. There's always this back and forth. Do this, don't do that. If this, if that, blah, blah, blah. So another way you can create your own revenue plateau is to be wildly inflexible with your schedule. If you want to plateau your revenues, never ask this question to a patient. Would you like us to take care of that today? Don't ask that question, because then your revenues will actually go up. Because a lot of those patients are going to say, well, yeah, I'm here now. Can we get it done today? And you can say yes. So have a flexible schedule. Work with the person who schedules your time and see if you can tighten it up. See if your assistants, especially expanded function assistants in your state, can be doing more. And if they can be doing more, schedule it accordingly. If you have enough room, if you can be 3 chairs wide without the third chair being a hygiene room, well, let's see what that looks like on the production scale. Okay? Because if it's efficiently and effectively scheduled, the dentist is going to be doing everything that they like to do or want to do during the day. The assistants are going to have an expanded function, and everybody's going to be that much more productive within the same given 8-hour day. So the bottom line here is, if your revenues are plateauing and you have basically the same quality and quantity of new patients, it's basically the same number of work hours, it's basically the same number of work days and the same staff and the same basic everything, then maybe you need to schedule a little bit tighter. Maybe you need to be a little more flexible within your schedule. Maybe you need to ask the question, would you like us to take care of that while you're here today? And actually be able to do it.
Yeah.
Right?
That makes sense, that they're already taking time off work. And so why not, get it done now?
Yeah. Now, Some of this has to do, with the technology you have, with the amount of room you have, with the number of assistants you have. But if you talk about it as a group and really want to be able to say, would you like us to take care of that while you're here today? Then take a look at everything you need to do to make that happen. Because if you ask that question, many, many, many of your patients are going to say yes. And if they do, your production's going to go up. And that's another appointment out into the future that won't be there that you can fill perhaps with a new patient. And maybe the capacity will free up. And so on and so on and so on. So The 4 areas. If you're having a meeting with your CPA at the end of the year and they say either your revenues are going down or you're basically flat year over year, Howie and I are here to tell you that 95% of the practices that we see are growing revenue-wise. Okay, within the same structure, with the same number of work hours, the same number of dentists, and so on and so forth. Year over year, the doctors are working basically the same number of hours and they're producing more. Okay, so if they're doing it and you're not, and something's flattening you out, it may not necessarily be your market. It could be your marketing. It certainly could be. That's the quality versus quantity issue. If that is your issue, then get a hold of us. Okay. But it could be that you're pre-appointing everyone, you're filling up your capacity, your front desk doesn't have anywhere to put the new patients, your new patient numbers are stagnated, and that will always stagnate your revenues. It could be that your schedule, maybe you're just, maybe you're just lazy. Maybe you like to be on Dental Town or on Facebook all day, and maybe you just want to do a crown prep in 40 minutes, and every other dentist can do one in 20, but maybe you want to do yours in 40. There are scheduling things that you can do, including asking the question, would you like us to take care of that today? That you might want to look at. Now, this is looking internally. It's not something you can really blame on anyone else. It's something you have to work on with your staff. And believe me, your staff would love to work. The person at your front desk would love nothing more than to work with you on tightening up your schedule. Because they're the first ones to complain to me. When I suggest it, they always say to me, well, the doctor will never let me do that. So have a conversation. Have a conversation with the person at your front desk. Ask them if together you can find ways to tighten up the schedule. That will absolutely add production to the same 8-hour workday without any additional marketing, without changing quality or quantity, and without adding capacity. That's a pretty simple way, actually. So look at all those things. If your CPA says, hey, you're flat, or hey, you went backwards last year, because those are things that you can take care of internally, maybe with the use of a marketing firm, maybe with the use of a consulting firm, maybe, that would really help you off the plateau.
Right. Oops. Drop my mic. I'm sorry.
Did you fall over?
Almost.
You need one of those I've fallen but I can't get up things.
Okay, I'm not that old. All right. Well, thank you. We'll wrap this up today for now. And thanks all of you out there for listening. And we hope to have you back again real soon. All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
We hope you've enjoyed our podcast today. You can find more podcasts on our YouTube channel, on Stitcher, and iTunes. Also on our websites, dentalwebcontent.com and newpatientsinc.com.